What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I see in the title was going out. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it in the title. Feeling a little bit better today, y'all. Feeling a little bit better. Chris is actually, if y'all don't know Chris, that's my girl. She'll be bringing me a water in a minute. Told her I was about to be starting, but been drinking orange juice, plenty of water. Went out for a little drive today to cool down with my anxiety and stuff like that. But trying to get better. You know, it's a lot what happened. You know, why I don't really drive and stuff like that anymore. So definitely glad. You know, it's been a cool little Sunday. And thank God. You know, I definitely do thank God. But you already see it in the title. What is going on? Let's check it out.
Worse than the fumble here. Okay, so here we go. Tim Walz just got fact-checked by Fox News' Shannon Bream, and it went about as well as you'd expect. These are, of course, Tim Walz's special facial expressions. Here, look at this. Tim Walz going on Fox News for the first time ever, or for the first time in this campaign at least. First time we've seen anyone from the Walz-Harris campaign go on any show at all that's not sycophant North Korea level propaganda. Pretty amazing. And I guess, like, way to go. We should see more of this. Look at this slide. You can see Walz's misstatements. You say lies. Call them lies. Look at this. Hong Kong military rank, carrying a weapon of war, DUI arrests, using IVF. Ooh, this was an amazing, amazing list of lies. He had to confront them himself. And, of course, you would not be surprised to find out that he used the "I am an ogre, me caveman, I no speak good" response.
They know what's going to happen, though, as they come on. And I'm actually surprised that he even got on Fox News. Kamala still hasn't, and I'm wondering if she ever will.
Argument. Excuse. Here we go.
Republicans came out against it long before President Trump indicated he didn't like it either. Listen, before we go, because I wish that we had a full hour, I want to give you a chance, because you called yourself a knucklehead this week, to talk about some of your misstatements. Yeah. You've modified your story or explained that you misspoke about things involving your military rank, about carrying a weapon in war, your 1995 DUI arrest, using IVF to have your beautiful children, Gus and Hope, being in Hong Kong and China in the summer of 1989 during the Tiananmen events. A lot of people would say they couldn't get away with saying, "I'm just too passionate, my grammar's not right, I'm a knucklehead." What do you say to the American people who think, I don't know that I can trust this guy with all those modifications to be the potential commander-in-chief of this country?
Yeah, well, I think they heard me. They heard me the other night speaking passionately about gun violence and misspeaking. And I got to be honest with you, Shannon, I don't think people care whether I used IUI or IVF when we talk about this. What they understand is Donald Trump would resist those things. Look, I speak passionately. I had
always throwing. I'm telling you, literally every time they ready to throw, they ready to bash Trump. Every time.
Entire career, decades before I was in public office. They know, and I'm very proud of my 24 years in service and my record. I have never disparaged someone else in this, but I know that's not what Donald Trump does. They disparage everyone. The personal attacks. I will own up when I misspeak. I will own up when I make a mistake. Let's be very clear.
Ooh, baby. I mean, you know, I got to tell you, it's amazing to actually see these guys called. This is why they don't do press that's even remotely fair. This is the job of the press. I don't mind it when the press, not during a debate, okay? During a debate, it is not acceptable. But I don't mind it when the press, when you're doing an interview, like it's your job to call people out when they're lying. Like this is like totally refreshing. Tim Walz says a lie, and Shannon Bream checks him on it.
Economists talk about Donald
But that's the
Trump.
thing. Every time, like, any time that the press will ask them something, they immediately bash Trump. So they beat around the bush. They lie. They bash Trump. That's all they do. Literally every time.
Economists talk about Donald Trump's proposal to add a 20% sales tax will cost $4,000. Okay. That's everybody. That's not me saying it.
And just to note, that is a tariff, which, by the way, this administration not only kept most of the Trump tariffs, but they added their own as well. So that's got to be part of the conversation.
It's nice to see the shoe on the other hand now, isn't it? Yeah. All right. More and more about it. Tim Walz defends signing into law free driver's license, free college, and free health care for illegal criminal aliens. Minnesota's great. he says, as people flee his state. That's what the data shows. Watch.
Wall Street Journal says this after you were chosen to join the ticket. As the Democratic governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz signed into law initiatives allowing immigrants in the country illegally to apply for driver's licenses, qualify for free tuition at state universities, and enroll in the state's free health care program for low-income residents. Are those not magnets to draw people here, many times on dangerous journeys for themselves? And why should your taxpayers in Minnesota or across the states pay for those programs?
Well, that's not the vice president's position, but I will say this. Minnesota ranks as a top 5 business state. We rank as a top 3 state for children living, and we're the top state for health care access. I would also add this. We also have some of the safest roads. Look.
Tim Walz then goes on to continue to, I mean, it's the kind of stuff that you can actually get away with on state-run propaganda media. Thank God that we finally have a honest journalist. Shannon Bream's awesome, by the way, on Fox saying, well, no, actually, Kamala Harris has not secured the border. It's been an open border.
The vice president has made it clear that she has policies that make a difference. Her border policies are the most strongest, the fairest we've seen. It's
but now, Governor, you know, a lot of people, including your own party, would not join that statement. There are millions of people who have come here over the last few.
Look how confused his face is, y'all. He knows he knows the he's beating around the bush and he's lying. He knows this. It's the simple fact that you have somebody as strong as Shannon, you know, and that it's gonna catch him in his lies and say this, say that, and now he really ain't got nothing to say. I mean, honestly, look at him. Look at his face.
Join that statement. There are millions of people who have come here over the last few years that, you know, they see this as an open policies.
Border. Well, simply, we have a policy. Donald Trump sees it as a political.
I told y'all. Every single time when they know that they've been lying, when they get caught in a lie, anything like that, anything, when they sound ridiculous, they just give you a whole bunch of BS, and then they, oh well, this is that, this, oh well, Trump said, Trump. Never let it go, never.
Look, James Langford in Oklahoma, the Border Patrol agents, the Wall Street Journal, the Chamber of Commerce, all said pass this legislation. You have to have Congress to authorize 1,500 new border agents. You have to have Congress to authorize DOJ to speed adjudications on these asylum claims. Those are things that would actually work. Donald Trump told us for 4 years he would deal with this. He didn't. He didn't build his wall, 2%. Mexico didn't pay for it. This is a real bill that has bipartisan support. It has the experts on board, and it starts to tackle these issues. And we don't have to resort to demonizing people. We don't have to resort to making up or crafting stories, as Senator Vance said he did. Those things were not happening in Springfield, but it doesn't mean that we can't pass a piece of legislation to strengthen our border. That's what Kamala Harris is talking about.
Well,
She's talking
Governor,
about solving the problem.
That piece of legislation does include the wall that you guys have been so, you've disparaged that. I mean, the vice president has as well, so I don't know if she really intends to move forward with that. But it was negotiated by 3 or 4 senators, and many Republicans came out against it long before President Trump indicated he didn't like it either.
Oh, and also Tim Walz was asked about supporting terrorist states like Hamas in order to get brownie points and cookie points with Muslim voters in Michigan, right? Anyone who burns the American flag, good with me. And yeah, word salad time. Learn from the best. Kamala Harris, go.
You said in a radio interview that anti-Israel protesters were speaking out, quote, for all the right reasons. You know that some of them are carrying Hamas flags. Some of them are calling for the extermination of the Jewish state. Do you want to clarify your praise for them?
Well, I'm certainly not talking about them. I'm talking about the people who understand that we have to end the humanitarian crisis, but they understand we need to return the hostages and bring peace to the region. Look, I will always defend people's rights to First Amendment, but that's not the folks I'm talking about. Those folks are not speaking for the entire group. So I think it's very clear on this. Israel's right, as we've stood with them. Anti-Semitism has no place in this country, and Vice President Harris has been clear about that. I've been clear about it. But the ability to bring a peaceful solution and understand Israel's right to defend itself, the return of the hostages.
What is up with them saying, oh my, what just happened? What is up with them saying, let's be clear about that? We are clear about this. We are clear. That's how I know that man. This is a joke. Honestly, y'all, people need to wake up.
Gazans' right to live in peace too is something that we're trying to get to, and that's going to take the leadership that we've seen out of Vice President Harris, being able to hold this coalition together. And again, when Iran launched their missiles this week, she's in the Situation Room. That's different.
Ooh, and just the premiere clip here. Hey, most of Americans think that Kamala Harris's policies are bad for them. What say you, sir? Tim Walz just eggplants. Watch. Little.
Our latest polling shows that 66% of Americans we talked to said that buying groceries is a, quote, major problem for them. And when we asked people about how they feel about the policies of this administration versus the previous, double the amount of people surveyed say that Biden-Harris policies have hurt them rather than help them and their families economically. That's in stark contrast to how they feel when asked about the Trump administration. So what would a Harris-Walz administration do different than a Biden-Harris administration when it comes to convincing people that the economy is going to get better for them because their perception is that it's not?
Well, we saw a blockbuster jobs report this week. We saw interest rates come down, and we've also seen that Vice President Harris laying out a middle-class agenda.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but
honestly, y'all, it'd be better off if they just be real. Honestly, if it'd be better off, and I can at least try to understand why people are supporting them. It'd be better off if they were being real, they didn't lie, wasn't fake, and if she was actually doing something. I just seen a clip of Kamala on some podcast, and it's still people struggling. How I know it's still people struggling. I obviously see it on X, see it on Instagram, see it on TikTok, and I literally have people. I know of TikTokers, you know, that I've talked to, literally that I've talked to, and they said that they're still day 8 without no power. But you're on a podcast. He's doing it. Like, get out and do something. Just me being president, like, I'm not even joking. Me being president, vice president, running for president or running to be the vice president, anything like that in the administration, I'm going to be out there. I'm gonna have to make it work. I'm out here. Just being out there, just showing that support, it goes a long way. It goes a long way. I'm telling y'all, bro. It's sad, and the people yet still support. Like, come on, how are you doing that? It's people still stranded, still sitting in water. Sad, bro.
I think Tim Walz would probably rather be back on the debate station after that interview. Amazing what happens when you have an actual journalist in there. I mean, Shannon Bream's like as light and as like straight as an arrow as you can possibly get with Fox News. Imagine if they went on like Tucker, Jesse Waters, Greg Gutfeld. Like, imagine what would happen there. They should, though, right? That's what actually hardens you up and makes you better. This is why Tim Walz was destroyed in the debate, because he's never faced a contentious question.
Man, I'm telling y'all, if it comes to the point where Tim Walz get on there with Tucker Carlson, or just we say Jesse Waters. We'll throw Jesse Waters in there. Tucker Carlson, it's over with. It's over with. Telling you. Make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe. But definitely appreciate y'all much. Love everybody. Let me know y'all comments, thoughts on this. Catch y'all next one.